name is Steve Hughes with Musical Accents. Welcome to another session with PianoPOP. Today we're going to be focusing on famous pop rock hit. Coldplay wrote a tune called Clocks, and it had a piano featured riff throughout the entire piece. So what we're going to start with today is we're going to learn a little bit of the theory behind the song, the structure of the chords, and how that fits into the song. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about the key signature and the scale that fits the key that we're in. This particular piece is in the key of E flat major. E flat major, and it is the Ionian mode in the key of E flat major, meaning it's the first mode, the scale based off of E flat. Okay, now what does this key mean? Like, what do the flats mean? The flats basically are assigning certain notes have accidentals, or flats in this matter. Accidental is an alteration of the note. There's sharps, flats, double sharps, double flats, and naturals. Key signatures are divided into two groupings. We have flat key signatures and sharp key signatures. The first thing to understand is the cycle of keys and where this key is positioned. This is actually the fourth key positioned in the flat keys. We start with C major. Then we go up a fourth from C to F, which adds one flat. So there's F major. Then we're going to go up a fourth from F to B flat. And now we are to our destination key, which is E flat. And if you notice, I am building these with two hands. These are called tetrachords. From the root, which is E flat, whole step, half step, creates our first tetrachord, which is a four-note, it's not really a chord per se, it's a four-note cluster, let's just say that. And then, the right hand, whole step, half step. And these two tetrachords are a whole step apart, creating the key that we are in. So two tetrachords gives us any major key. So far we have learned about the key of E flat major has three flats and how to build it. And we've also learned where it's positioned in the cycle of keys. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to the actual chords that are in this particular key. Let's first talk about chord positions. Okay, another word for this is diatonic chords, or just chords of the key. Okay, so if we build a chord off of E flat, and all you have to do is to build a triad, which is a three-note chord, is skip the second note to the third note, skip the fourth note to the fifth note, and now we have built a triad on the first note of the key of E flat. So what this means is this is the one chord. Okay? Now, the name of the chord is E flat major. Okay? So the function is the one chord because it's based off the one, and the actual chord name is E flat major. We are building a major third and a minor third together, creating a major triad. Okay? So what we're going to do is go through the rest of these chords in the key that we are in, and that's going to help us establish the framework for the main chord progression, the main harmony in the tune of Clocks. Alright, so the first chord that we have, we're going to go back and talk about the chords using functions. There we go, one chord. Now we're going to go to the second note in the key of E flat, which is F, and build a chord. We have the 2 chord, which happens to be minor. The 2 is always minor in the major key. Let's build a chord on the third note, G. the 3 chord is always minor. So major, minor, minor. Let's go to the 4th chord. Major. The 1, the 4, and the 5 chord are always major. Now, let me pause right there. You can make alterations to these chords in your writing, which makes the chords more interesting, makes the changes. That's what happens in clocks. Not all of these follow this formula. Okay? So the 5 chord, typically major. The 6th chord is minor. And we have a different type of chord. The 7th chord is diminished. The little circle stands for diminished chord. And then back to the 1 chord. So far, you can do this along with me. The 1 chord, the 2 chord, which is also F minor. 3 chord is G minor. A flat major, the 4 chord. B flat major, the 5 chord. C minor, the 6th chord. D diminished, the 7th chord, based off the 7th note of the scale. And E flat, back to the 1 chord. Alright, what we're going to do now is analyze the actual notes of the piano riff. Okay, so I'm going to play this very, very slowly. And if you notice, we're rotating between 3 notes. And what chord is this? Well, this is the E flat major chord in first inversion. Okay? Inversions of chords gives us different possibilities to play each chord. So here is the E major chord in root position, and then E major chord in first inversion. Okay? So the actual symbol that you see on your screen, that tells you that we're in first inversion, the 1/6 chord. And what that means is the distance between the bottom and the top note is a 6th interval. And that gives us, that tells us, hey, we're in first inversion. Okay? Here is the 2nd measure of clocks. And if we build that into a chord, we have a B flat minor. Notice it says the 5 chord, 6/4, and all that means is that it's the 5 chord, and look, it's a minor chord. So remember a couple minutes ago we talked that typically in major keys the 5 chord is major, but in this case it's a minor chord. We have substituted, we have brought a minor chord from the minor key. We'll talk about that at a later point. So if we take this chord into another inversion, it's a B flat minor chord in 2nd inversion. In the 4/6 in the chord symbol, all that means is from F to B flat is a 4th interval, and from F to D flat is a 6th interval. So it's a 5/6/4 chord. It's a 5 chord in 2nd inversion. Okay, so let's go back to the 1st chord. Okay? 2nd measure, here's the 3rd measure, repeats again. And now we have the final chord of the riff, which is F minor chord, also known as the 2 chord. Okay? So, one more time. E flat major, 1st inversion. B flat minor, 2nd inversion. B flat minor, 2nd inversion. F minor, root position. And see how everything ties nicely together. Okay, what would it sound like if we played everything in root position? You know, it's not bad, I guess. It's not smooth though. It's very jumpy, and you're going to notice that the piano riffs that you learn, if it's pop, if it's jazz, you know, and just structure of voicings, chord voicings, and how you play things, and even in classical compositions. And this is where this all stems from. Actually, it's from classical theory. Is that you want to use smooth voice licking. You want to voice your chords nice and smooth. So that's why we choose B these versions of these chords, because notice how they tie in nicely together. The first thing that I would focus on when you are trying to play this riff is memorizing the chord shapes, okay? Stop looking at the music, use the music as reference at first, and then immediately you need to just absorb these voicings. So what do I mean by absorb the voicings? Well, we're going to take one hand for example, white, black, black, right? G, B flat, E flat. Close your eyes, open them, locate, and play. Close your eyes, open them, locate, and play. You are memorizing the shape of the actual chords. Okay, let's go to the second one. Let's see if we can do this without actually playing it first. Okay, so it's B flat minor in second inversion. So we have F, B flat, and D flat. F, B flat, and D flat. There we go. Close your eyes, open them, target the shape with your eyes, then with your hands. We kind of cheat ourselves if we play it first and then we keep on repeating that. That's one way to do it, but it's not going to really force you to memorize immediately. Okay, and then the final chord is F minor, a little easier to see. It's F minor in root position, okay? The next step is fingering. What fingering should you play? Well, 1, 2, 5 is the proper fingering for any chord in first inversion. 1, 2, 5. And notice the spacing. You have left your third and your finger with a note under each finger. Okay? What you don't want to do is go 1, 3, 5, even though it seems logical, because now you have your fourth finger, which is a weak finger with 2 notes underneath. Okay? So, if the interval is a third from the root, always use your second finger. If it is larger than that, if it's a fourth interval, use your third finger. Okay? So that means that when we go to the next chord, we have a B flat minor in second inversion, which means that we need to use your third finger. So 1, 2, and 5, 1, 3, and 5. So you'll need to practice that switch from 2 on B flat to 3 on B flat. And then you're just going to drag these 2 fingers, 3 and 5, down to the F minor shape. Okay, so what you need to do is practice finding these chords with your right hand and then go ahead and memorize the shape and then play with your left hand. The left hand is going to be the opposite fingering wise. Okay, 3 and then 2 with your second finger. And then we put both hands together. Once you can do that, you got those shapes drilled into your head and you can play it at a pretty quick pace. Now we're actually ready for the main riff. Nice and slow to start with. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Okay, now we know it repeats frequently throughout the piece. We also know that same chord shape is played throughout the piece as well, just with some rhythms. let's analyze the actual pattern. The chord pattern that's going on is we start with the top, middle, bottom, back, again, top, middle, bottom, and then we cut the pattern in half. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And that's how you need to think until you just really can feel the rhythm. It's 2 groups of 3 and a group of 2. And you may want to tap out the rhythm as well. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And notice I'm accenting the first part of each grouping. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You can even tap it on your legs or on your fall board. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. You want to get that feeling of the rhythm implanted deeply inside. And then you get these two things together, the rhythm and the shapes, and you're going to be up to speed in no time. Okay? So we're going to take it slow, we're going to speed it up, we're going to take it slow and speed it up, and then we are going to have a little bit of a quiz, and that will end our session for today. 1, 2, 3, 4. A little faster. A little faster. A little faster. A little slower. A little faster. Sorry, slower. And back to fast. One more time. Okay, it's very important to vary your tempo. It's extremely important. You don't want to be able to be, well, a one-trick pony in terms of tempo. You need to be able to vary your tempos in any given situation, especially when you're playing with a group. Okay, you may need to rehearse it as a group. So you'll need to be able to play it slowly. Very good. So we've gone through the chord theory. We've gone and understand the actual key that we're in. We've gone through the chords and the shapes, how to memorize them, and then how to apply the pattern. And now we're actually playing the piano riff in both hands. The final thing we're going to do today is have a slight little quiz. I want to go over the things that we talked about. The first question is going to be, what is the key of the song? The answer should be E flat major. Remember, E flat major is the fourth key in the flat keys. C, F, B flat, and then E flat. So memorize your key circle, your circle of fifths. All right, the next question is, how many flats are in the key of E flat? So C major has 0, F has 1, B flat has 2, and E flat has 3 flats. And the order of those flats are B flat, E flat, and A flat. You need to not only memorize your order and circle of fifths, but the actual order of flats. The next question has to refer to the chords in the key. Where is F minor, the function of F minor? It is a number. Where is F minor in the key of E flat major? Remember that the function is talking about where the chord is positioned in the key. So the note F is positioned, or the chord F is positioned as the second note or second chord in the key of E flat. So it is the 2 chord. Okay, let's go to another chord. Where does the B flat minor, where is that chord positioned in the key of E flat? This chord is also called the dominant chord. It is the 5 chord. And if you wrote down 5, 6, 4 in terms of its the interval and the inversion of the chord, then props to you for getting that information down as well. All right, and then we're going to have one final question, which is, what is the chord progression for this riff? So it's a total of 4 chords. What is the chord progression? And using chord functions. Not the names of the chords, but actually the function of the chords. The chord progression in the key of E flat major is 1, 5, 5, 2. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope this helped to give you some background on the actual harmony of the tune, and to help you actually play it with confidence and add a new riff to your repertoire. We'll actually talk about the rest of the song at a later stage in the series. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.